Somewhere in a salt mine in Transylvania, there is a film reel rotting in the dark. On that reel is footage so violent, so absolutely unhinged, that Paramount Pictures personally made sure you would never see it. The movie is Event Horizon. The year was 1997, and the scene they cut from this film didn't just get deleted, it got buried like a body. It sounds fake, but it's not. Here are the dark secrets behind Event Horizon and the hell footage Paramount tried to hide. Number 1. The original cut made a grown man leave the room. When director Paul W.S. Anderson showed his first cut to Paramount executives, the screening room went quiet. Not the good kind of quiet, the kind where people stare at the floor and nobody makes eye contact. One executive reportedly left the room during the hell sequence. The footage was so graphic, so relentless, that the studio didn't just ask for trim. They demanded Anderson hack the film apart. We're talking over 30 minutes of footage ripped out like organs from a chest cavity. The movie you saw in theaters? That's the sanitized version, and that version still gives people nightmares. But the footage they cut is what haunts people most. Number 2. The hell scenes were real, in a way that shouldn't be possible. Anderson didn't use CGI for the visions of hell. He hired amputees, prosthetic artists, and extras willing to do things on camera that most actors would refuse. The set was dressed with real animal entrails, real offal from butcher shops. The smell on set was so overpowering that crew members gagged between takes. The extras were covered in real filth, contorted into positions that looked anatomically wrong because some of them were anatomically wrong. Anderson wanted the audience to feel like they were watching something they stumbled onto by accident, something they weren't supposed to find. Look closer. The images that survive in low-resolution behind-the-scenes clips still make your skin crawl, and those are the tame frames. That brings us to the footage nobody can find. Number 3. The lost cut is literally rotting underground. Here's where the story turns from creepy to genuinely tragic. After Paramount forced the cuts, Anderson assumed the deleted footage was safely archived. It wasn't. The original negatives, the deleted scene, the full uncut hell sequence, all of it was shipped to a Transylvania salt mine used for deep storage of film reels, and the conditions destroyed them. Humidity, salt corrosion, time. By the time anyone went looking for the footage to restore it for a DVD release, most of it had deteriorated beyond recovery. The most disturbing horror footage of the 1990s wasn't censored. It was erased by nature itself. Nobody knew, not until it was far too late. And the little bit they did recover? That's its own nightmare. Number 4. The VHS rescue tape is almost unwatchable. Anderson eventually found one source of deleted material, a single VHS tape, a rough, low-quality copy of some of the missing scenes. If you've seen the DVD special features, you've seen snippets of it. Grainy, blurred, warped with tracking lines like a haunted home video. And even through that static, the images are stomach-turning. Bodies twisted into impossible shapes, faces frozen mid-screen with injuries that look wet. The VHS quality almost makes it worse. It feels like a snuff tape you found in someone's attic. Your palms sweat just watching it. The grain hides just enough detail that your brain fills in the rest, and your brain is meaner than any director. This is the part that hurts. Number 5. Sam Neill went to a place he couldn't come back from easily. Sam Neill has talked openly about how playing Dr. Weir messed with his head. The role required him to transform from a grieving, broken scientist into something that isn't human anymore. Something that wears a human like a costume. Neill committed fully. In the uncut footage, his performance reportedly went further than anything in the theatrical release. More unhinged, more physical, more like a man who had actually seen the other side and liked what he found. Neill later described the shoot as one of the most disturbing experiences of his career. He didn't just act possessed, he marinated in it for weeks on a freezing set surrounded by fake blood and real animal parts. Then it happened. He wrapped the film and had to go be a normal person again. That transition, he said, was not easy, but the set itself was working against everyone. Number 6. The ship was designed to make actors uncomfortable. Production designer Joseph Bennett built the interior of the Event Horizon ship to feel wrong. The corridors were slightly too narrow, the ceilings slightly too low. Gravity drive chamber, that massive spinning ring of Gothic metal, was built as a practical set piece that actually rotated. Actors walked into that set and physically recoiled. Laurence Fishburne reportedly hated being inside it. The architecture was inspired by Notre Dame Cathedral, but twisted, inverted, like a church built by something that hates you. The set wasn't just a backdrop. It was a psychological weapon. Here's the detail that gets me. The hallways were designed with no right angles. Everything was slightly curved or tilted. Your eyes register it before your conscious mind does. You feel seasick without knowing why. That's not an accident. That's a trap. And the shooting schedule turned that trap into a pressure cooker. Number 7. Paramount gave Anderson an impossible deadline, and it broke the film. This is where the real horror story lives. Anderson didn't want to cut the film down, was forced to. Paramount moved the release date up by 6 weeks to avoid competing with Titanic. 6 weeks. Anderson was still in post-production, still editing, still figuring out how the hell sequences should flow. He had to deliver a finished cut before the film was actually finished. Scenes were trimmed not for content, but for time. Entire character arcs were gutted. The original vision, a slow, suffocating descent into cosmic madness, was chopped into a faster, leaner, less coherent movie. Theatrical cut of Event Horizon is a compromised film, a movie that was survived, not completed, and critics savaged it. They called it derivative, messy, confused. They weren't wrong, but they were reviewing a skeleton, not the body Anderson built. And that brings us to the scene that ruined everything. Number 8. The blood orgy was the line Paramount wouldn't cross. The centerpiece of the deleted footage is what fans call the blood orgy. It's the full, uncut vision of what happened to the original crew of the Event Horizon when the ship crossed into the hell dimension and came back. In the theatrical cut, you see flashes, quick frames, blink-and-miss-it glimpses of bodies doing things to each other that don't have names. In the original cut, you didn't blink. You sat there. The camera held. Anderson wanted you to be trapped in that footage the same way the rescue crew is trapped watching it on the ship's log. He wanted the audience to feel violated by the act of seeing. Paramount said absolutely not. They weren't wrong to be scared of it, but cutting it removed the beating heart of the film's thesis, that hell isn't a place, it's an experience, and once you see it, you're already there. The studio begged them to cut this, and when they did, they cut the meaning along with it. But here's the thing that keeps this movie alive 30 years later. Number 9. The cult following exists because of the missing footage. Event Horizon flopped in 1997. It made back barely more than its budget. Critics dismissed it. Audiences shrugged. Then it happened. The DVD era hit. People found this movie on late-night cable, on rental shelves, in bargain bins, and they started talking. What did the deleted scenes show? How bad was it really? Is there a full cut hidden somewhere? The mystery of the lost footage became bigger than the footage itself. The film became a legend because it was incomplete. Every horror fan has that friend who says the original cut would have been a masterpiece, and maybe they're right. Or maybe the absence is the point. Maybe the greatest trick Event Horizon ever pulled was making you imagine something worse than any director could film. The hole in the movie became the movie's hell dimension. You stare into it, and it stares back. Number 10. A director's cut will almost certainly never exist. Anderson has said publicly multiple times that he would love to restore the original vision. He can't. The negatives are gone. The salt mine ate them. The VHS tape is the only surviving fragment, and its quality is too degraded for a proper restoration. Modern AI upscaling might clean up some frames, but it can't resurrect footage that no longer exists in any form. The full Event Horizon is gone. Permanently. It exists only in the memories of the people who were in that screening room in 1997, staring at the floor, afraid to look up. You will never see it. I will never see it. And that, somehow, makes it the most effective horror film ever made. A movie so scary that the scariest parts exist only in the dark, where you can't reach them, where they can reach you. There is a movie rotting in a salt mine that Paramount doesn't want you to think about, but you're thinking about it right now. That's what Event Horizon does. It gets inside your head and it stays. If you survived this video, hit like and tell me below, what's the one movie scene you can never unsee? Drop it in the comments. I'll be reading every single one. In the dark, obviously.